Since time immemorial, the residents of planet Earth have yearned to grasp the secrets of the cosmos, to reach for the stars.
Hello?
Today, Team Good Game has come together to do the impossible, to see the invisible. Today, that dream will finally come true.
Hello and welcome to Good Game Spawn Point Mission Control. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am Darren.
Alright guys, I'm just doing a weather check here and then we should be good to launch.
Boosters are all fueled too, Darren.
Marvellous. Today is a special, special day. No robot has ever been inside a black hole before, but today we make history.
You know what guys, before we shoot you into space, Darren, I thought maybe it would be a good idea for us to do a test run in Kerbal Space Program 1.0.
Good thinking, Bajo.
Now, while you two check that launch data, how about a quick Darren's Challenge? Today, I'm asking you this. Who is the mother hen of the Angry Birds flock? Answer at the end of the show.
Oh, guys, it's an incoming transmission. Oh, it's Goose live from the launch pad with the news.
Yes, hello, Bajo, Hex, Darren. It's Goose here, live from the launch pad.
Hey Goose, how are those rockets looking? I'm just putting in some final changes now.
Yes, things are looking good, Bajo. The rockets are ready to fire in T-minus 120 seconds, so that's probably just enough time to read the news. NASA's New Horizons probe is the first probe ever to visit Pluto, and it's almost at its destination after a 10-year-long journey. It recently sent back the first colour images of the dwarf planet and its largest moon, Charon. The snaps may just show a blurry blob for now, but the probe is rapidly approaching its July 14th rendezvous for some close-up snaps with the up till now almost unseen Pluto. As New Horizons zooms past Pluto's surface, it will provide us with what could possibly be the last time within our lifetimes that we'll ever see detailed photos of an as yet unseen planet's surface. Well, dwarf planet's surface, but Pluto, hey, you'll always be a planet to me. Meanwhile, closer to home on our planetary neighbour Mars, the Curiosity rover has detected signs that liquid water exists near the surface of the red planet. The rover picked up the presence of a type of salt known as calcium perchlorate in the surface. Scientists say this compound attracts water and lowers its freezing point, which means liquid water could likely exist in the soil under the right conditions. Well, that's all the news from around the world this week. The rockets are ready to test fire, and I need to be a safe distance away, so back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks Goose, and it appears that the rockets seem to be functioning quite well. You know what guys, we've played a lot of brilliant games over the years, and some of them we've never actually covered here on Spawn Point. So we thought it would be a good idea to look back at some of the great games that still hold up today.
Indeed, Bajo. And seeing as we're all about space this week, we're going to take a look at Spore for our first replay segment.
Spore first came out in 2008 as a single-player multi-genre game. It allowed players to create their own species and advance it in the evolutionary chain.
That's right, Bajo. Spore lets you explore life from its very beginnings and all the way to the final galactic frontier.
You begin your journey as a single-celled organism making your way around a tide pool. As you eat meat or plants, depending on your dietary choice, you start to develop and grow.
And once you reach a certain size, it's time to start walking.
Here's where you'll add legs and edit certain parts of your creature. On land, your objectives are to interact with different species in the area. You can choose to be friendly towards them or hostile.
Your goal here is to collect extra body parts that can be used to advance your own species and also to befriend other species to join your ranks.
And when you've teamed up with or eaten enough creatures, your brain power will increase. This means you can now form tribes, which is the next stage in the game.
The tribe section of Spore takes the form of an RTS, with your goal similar to the previous stage. You will be micromanaging your tribe to gather resources to grow, expand, and populate your village.
At first I was a little bit cautious with all these different types of gameplay thrown in, but I actually found it quite refreshing how it changed things up. I did enjoy the gameplay here, though. I liked building up my army and then swarming another village.
There are loads of customization options here, plus you can add items to the creatures in your tribe, which will affect their attributes.
Yeah, for example, if you have a more combat-focused tribe, then you can equip a war mask to increase damage. Or if you wanted to speed up your scavenging, you can equip a foraging chest piece.
And once you have foraged enough, it's time to build a civilization! Here you can harvest the planet for resources to develop your very own city. Similar to previous stages, you're set with the task of creating links with other species, or to conquer them with military advances.
Well, let's talk about the space stage, guys.
Yes, please. Your adventures will consist of interplanetary travel with your spaceship and fulfilling missions for your species. Guys, I loved zipping around planets in my spaceship, scanning for resources and mysterious wreckages.
Me too, and the scale of space is just huge. You can travel not only between planets, but across galaxies as well. I also really liked the space combat here.
We did have a few performance issues with Spore, including some frame rate issues and a couple of crashes as well.
Yeah, and we should mention that the last patch for this game was several years ago, so if you encounter any significant problems, chances are they're not going to be resolved.
We should wrap up this replay, you two.
Yes, well, Spore does have its flaws, but it's still surprisingly fun to play. I recommend it.
Yeah, it's creative and unique, definitely worth a play.
All right, it's time for you two to jet off to the Ask Spawn Point desk. Space.
Okay, well, who better to start off our spacey Ask Spawn Point than the King of Space, who sent us this question from the Space Bar in Queensland. Hey guys, King of Space here to ask a question regarding the game Elite Dangerous, which I'm hopefully getting for my 15th birthday. Also, answer these without Darren. He needs to make sandwiches. 1. What are your thoughts on the game? Is it worth the 70-ish bucks? 2. Is this joystick compatible with it? I've asked around, but no one seems to have been able to answer this. 3. Will you guys be reviewing it at a later date? 4. Say as best you can. Cheers, King of Space!
Well, your Space Highness. I loved Elite Dangerous. It's got almost everything you could want in a space sim. Fun combat, great visuals, a huge galaxy where you're free to do whatever you like.
I liked it a lot, but personally I would have really loved a story or something to help ease me into the game. It kind of just dumps you in deep space and says, off you go, do whatever.
But that's why I like it. That's the fun. You're just another space adventurer heading off into the void.
I guess. I just like feeling like a hero, though.
Yeah, you gotta earn the right to be a hero, Hex.
Well, fair enough. And I did love the detail of that epic 1-to-1 scale recreation of the galaxy. I would just stare at that map for ages looking at how many stars there are. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, absolutely. There are literally billions. Billions! As for if it's worth the money, well, I'd personally say, yeah, there aren't many games that can offer a whole galaxy to explore for that price, so it's definitely got a lot of content and gameplay.
But I guess a game's value varies a lot from person to person. You just have to ask yourself if you think it looks like something that you would enjoy. But we can definitely recommend it. But hopefully you get it for your birthday anyway and won't have to decide.
And as for that joystick you pointed us towards, we had a look and yes, it is compatible.
And we have already reviewed Elite Dangerous on our big show. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yes, and I gave it 4 out of 5. But we might take another look at it here on Spawn Point later on. They are constantly updating it and adding in new features, so it might be worth revisiting sometime in the future.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move on now to this one from Mr. Darwin, who is in somewhere in a somewhat unspecified location in Queensland.
Homeworld 3!
Well, Mr. Darwin, there is indeed a new Homeworld game coming out, but it's not going to be called Homeworld 3. It's more of a spin-off for the series called Homeworld Shipbreakers.
We haven't heard much about it in a while, but from what we've seen, it's focused on ground-based strategy and scavenging. Oh, Hex, it's Darren. Hang on. Just load the space phone.
Space phone looks heavy.
Hello, Darren?
Hello, Bajo and Hex.
Hi.
Apparently the game is also going to be a prequel to the original Homeworld. But originally it wasn't a Homeworld game. It was actually called Hardware Shipbreakers, but it was being made by many of the original developers and it was clearly heavily inspired by Homeworld.
So it's more of a spiritual successor then?
Affirmative. Then a studio called Gearbox bought the rights to Homeworld and basically thought Shipbreakers looked awesome. So they partnered with them and agreed to publish the game as an official homeworld title. And no doubt you'd be aware that they've recently remastered the original homeworld games as well.
Oh, yes, we've played them, and they're definitely worth a replay or a first play if you've never played them.
And no doubt Gearbox will be keen to continue on the franchise in general, so chances are pretty good that one day we'll see a full-on Homeworld 3 sequel.
Cool. Thanks for all those excellent facts, Darren. But let's move on to this one now from Mongoose King, who is one of the teddies on your desk in Victoria. We don't have any teddies on our desk this week.
Yeah,
We've
that's
just got
weird.
cool space stuff.
Cool space stuff.
This is our space special.
Darren, I'm losing you. I'm losing you, Darren.
Bajo!
I'm losing you.
Bajo, stay with me, Bajo!
Hi, this is the third time I've asked a question. If you do not answer this time, I will personally turn you into mongoose slaves. 1. Can you get affordable space adventures on PS3 or is it just on Wii U? 2. Should I sell my Wii or should I keep it until it's an artifact and sell it for more than when it came out? Cha-ching! Oh, cha-ching! 3. I would like to play The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and I don't have a Wii U or a 3DS. What should I do? Move. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Well, Mongoose King, sorry to say, but Affordable Space Adventures is exclusive to the Wii U. It really needs the gamepad to work too, so unless they completely change the game somehow, I doubt it will ever come out on any other console.
As for if you should sell your Wii or hold on to it, well, that depends, I guess. I will say that I doubt it will go up in value, though. They sold over 100 million of them, so there's going to be heaps floating around.
Yeah, and even really retro consoles like the Super Nintendo are still cheaper to buy today than they were at launch.
So we wouldn't recommend holding on to it as an investment. But if there's games you want to play on it still, then I'd say keep it.
Also, you can actually get Majora's Mask for the Wii. You can just download it straight from the online store. It is a port of the original 64 version, though, and not the new updated one that's on the 3DS.
Yeah, but on that note, we're actually out of time for this week because we've got to get back to getting Darren ready for that launch. And if you'd like to ask us a question, you can go here and ask away.
Would you like to hear my mongoose impression?
Yeah, okay. Wait, have you even seen a mongoose?
I have not.
They're very small and very cute. I don't think they make that noise. Okay guys, before we launch Darren into the black hole V404 Cygni, it's time to run our test mission. A manned mission to the moon in Kerbal space program.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Kerbal Space Program is a simulator where you design your own ships and develop your own space program. We've looked at it several times before, as it has been available in early form since 2011, but it just finally reached version 1.0. That is to say, it's finished.
The game manages to take some pretty big sciencey ideas and concepts and makes them surprisingly accessible.
Yeah, and these maneuver nodes are lifesavers. You just place them on your trajectory and use them to figure out your next move. Like when and where you need to fire your engines if you want to get to the moon.
Affirmative. Planning out such maneuvers without them would be extremely complicated. For humans, at least.
Still, it's all pretty advanced stuff, and it took us a while to get our head around the controls and some of the concepts. So I'd say this one is more for older spawnlings, or at least those willing to put in the time to learn. Let's just start up the sandbox mode and quickly build a ship to get us there without the whole space program.
Unacceptable! I need you and Bajo to know what you're doing if you're going to launch me into a black hole.
Fine, walk us through setting up our space program.
Okay. So this is our space center, where we'll build our various hangars, launch pads, administrative and scientific buildings. Our overall mission is to gather scientific data and secure enough funding to research more advanced technologies. Then we can build craft sophisticated enough to take us safely to the moon and beyond.
Oh, so it's like a business manager too. That's cool. All right, Darren, let's get us some sweet data and funding. Darren, how do we get some sweet data and funding?
Oh, however you like, Bajo. There are various contracts to take on, such as testing equipment or ferrying tourists into space, which can provide science and funds upon completion. Or you can just set out on your own missions. By simply reaching new destinations and doing experiments, you'll be granted veritable bounties of data and funds.
That seems a little unguided. I mean, I guess the contracts do ease you into gradually exploring more complex ideas and missions.
Yeah, but some may feel a bit lost at times and think, oh, what do I do now? But it's great they give you such freedom to approach the sandbox any way you like. You just set yourself a goal like getting to the moon and try to accomplish it.
Yeah, true, but at the moment we barely have any parts, so we can only build very basic ships, and we're not going to get very far with these.
Well, Hex, our own backyard is a great place to start experimenting. You could even just take a crew report and do a study on the mystery goo while you're on the launch pad. Easy data. Also, with your ship fully intact on the launch pad, you can recover all the parts for no cost. Efficient science is good science.
It's clever how you can get back funds for parts that you recover. It definitely encourages you to consider how reusable your rocket designs are, and that is a big consideration in real space programs. But we didn't start a space program just to sit on the launch pad. Let's get into orbit and do some real science.
Affirmative. So here's a little spaceship I prepared for us. Prepare for countdown. 10, 9...
3, 2, 1, lift off!
Bajo. I personally like how there's such a focus on doing experiments. There's something just so satisfying about fitting out your ship with all sorts of sensors and equipment and then getting that data back home for analysis. I do love data analysis. It's even in my name.
Yeah, it's clever how you get so much more science back if you actually recover your craft opposed to just transmitting data. It's a tricky trade-off where a one-way probe is useful, but it's much better, if harder, to pull off a return trip.
Yeah, but I think we've done enough research now to attempt our moon landing.
Affirmative. Okay, team, for our moon mission, we'll need a lander that can safely land on the moon and have enough fuel to make it back, of course.
Okay, how's this look, Darren?
Well, it should do the trick. We'll have to be careful not to use too much fuel on our descent, as your lander's fuel supply is quite limited. Also, you might want ladders.
It'll be fine, Darren. 3, 2, 1, lift off! All right. Launch successful. Orbit achieved. Laying in a course for moon intercept. And burning engines.
Excellent work, Bajo.
Oh, we're doing it! Okay, we're approaching the moon, Darren.
Now, just put us in a stable orbit.
Okay, moon orbit achieved.
Good. Now commence final descent and landing sequence. Nice and easy, Bajo.
Oh, this is so tense, I can't watch.
All right, we're almost there, guys. Almost there. Almost there. And touchdown! The Eagle has landed! Oh, guys! Double fives!
Oh, happy day!
Okay, it's time to leave the capsule, if you dare. That's one small step for Kerbal, one giant leap for Kerbal kind.
Plant a flag and let's name this Darren's Crater. Now let's just do some experiments and get this Kerbal home.
Okay, returning to the command pod. Uh-oh. Darren, we have a problem.
Wait, what's wrong, Hex?
Well, I just checked our fuel supply and it's pretty low.
Oh dear. According to my calculations, we don't have enough to get him home.
What? Can't we just revert the flight or load a quick save?
No, we can't. The revert flight option is grayed out, and I already quick saved after we landed.
Oh no, does that mean he's stuck up there?
Not if I have anything to do with it, Hex. I haven't lost a Kerbal yet under my command. I don't plan on starting now.
Actually, Bajo, you've lost quite a few Kerbals, according to my records.
I meant today, Darren. I meant today. Don't worry, little Kerbal. We're going to get you home safe. Hold tight. Okay, guys, we need to figure out a rescue plan.
Affirmative.
To build something, we can build it.
Use this, take this to that,
Yeah.
and create some kind of like...
Okay, I have it. Here's the plan. We'll send an empty command pod, but we'll use an additional automated command pod to pilot it. Then we'll land as close as possible to him. He can jump out of his pod and transfer to the empty pod. Then, bada bing, bada boom, we launch him out of there and get him home.
That's crazy enough. It just might work, Bajo. All right, Darren, I think we're going to need some of your precision flying skills to get us as close as we need to be.
Okay, I'm assuming control. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing.
Darren, why are we singing?
Oh, it helps me relax.
Ground control to Major Darren. You've really made the grade.
Okay, our new lander is approaching the landing site.
Easy does it, Darren.
No, we're too far off. Get closer.
And I'm floating in the most peculiar way.
Almost there.
Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Okay, I think that's as close as I can get. Commencing landing, and we have touchdown.
Oh, nice work, Darren. All right, let's get this Kerbal home. Commencing EVA.
Oh, there's the lander. All right, it looks like there's plenty of fuel. And away we go. He's gonna make it, guys.
Well, don't speak too soon. He still needs to survive re-entry. You did put a heat shield on that thing, right, Bajo?
A heat shield?
Yes, a heat shield.
Oh my, you forgot, didn't you? The temperatures can hit 1,500 degrees on re-entry.
Seriously, Bajo?
Oh, look, I'm sure he'll be fine. Mostly fine, anyway. Okay, he's coming in now. Oh, it's getting a bit hot.
Oh no, he blew up.
No, look! That was just the fuel tanks.
He's still okay. I think he's going to make it. Parachutes have deployed safely and... he's home! Oh, he did
Yes.
it!
See, guys, I told you it would be fine.
Well, that was pretty tense. After all that, what do you think of the game, Bajo?
Well, I really like this game. It is super tough, though, like we said, and unless you're already a rocket scientist, you're going to fail more than you succeed. You're going to blow up, or run out of fuel, or get vaporized on re-entry, or float off into the abyss of space. Everything can and will go wrong.
Ah, but every failure is a lesson. You see what worked with your mission and what went wrong, then it's back to the drawing board to attempt to fix it.
Absolutely. The fact that you fail so much makes it that much sweeter when you succeed. There's just so much jeopardy and tension with every mission.
Yeah, there's such a great sense of accomplishment with this game. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars.
I'm giving it a perfect 5 stars.
Okay, guys, I think we're finally clear to launch.
Our test mission wasn't exactly flawless. Darren, you sure about this?
Affirmative. It's time to go where no living being has ever gone before.
Oh, but before I go, I need to give you the answer to my challenge. At the start of the show, I asked you, who is the mother hen of the Angry Birds flock? And the answer is... Matilda!
Nice one, Darren.
All right, we're all set. Darren, good luck.
I'll make my way to the launch pad. Darren out.
Bajo out.
Good luck. Hex out.
Okay, he's making his way to the launch pad. Let's go to the launch cam.
3, 2, 1. Lift off!
Oh, launch successful. Well done.
Nice.
Okay, switching to interior cam. Darren, are you okay?
Affirmative. All systems are green. I will be leaving the Earth's orbit and shifting into hyperspeed soon.
Affirmative, Darren. Hyperspeed is a go.
Hyperdrive engage. I am now on the edge of the black hole V404 Cygni. Wish me luck, humans.
Good luck, Darren.
Good luck. I wonder what is on the other side of a black hole.
Oh, let's see. Well, scientists think it's a singularity, so a one-dimensional point which contains infinite mass and gravity and space and time curves infinitely. It's also where our laws of physics stop working.
Sounds like a confusing place.
Yeah.
Oh, here I am at the center of the black hole and... what's this? I'm surrounded by the most intelligent beings in the multiverse! Hello, Darren! Hello, Darren! Hello, Darren! Hello, Darren! Oh, this is the most wondrous experience imaginable! Oh, so many Darrens! Oh.